Fala rapaziada, Bruno Borges da Brasil Bodybuilding News na área. Já vai deixando aquele like no vídeo e bora para as notícias de hoje. Meus amigos, o Brasil está em festa. Ramon Dino fez história ao conquistar a Class Physique do Mr. Olympia 2025 e a repercussão desse título está sendo simplesmente mundial. O feito do brasileiro atravessou fronteiras e tomou conta nas redes sociais, dos portais e dos maiores canais internacionais de fisiculturismo. O maior canal de notícias do mundo sobre bodybuilding já destacou a conquista com manchetes exaltando a nova era que começa com o brasileiro no topo da Class Physique, e não parou por aí. Nomes gigantes da mídia gringa como o canal Nick Sweden Power e a Generation Iron também repercutiram bastante, impressionados com o físico e a constância e evolução do Ramon Dino ao longo dessa temporada. Aqui no Brasil, o impacto foi gigante também. Ramon apareceu em um post da gigante TNT que ultrapassou 1 milhão de curtidas e também foi destaque na Cazé TV com a publicação que superou 600 mil curtidas. Além disso, ESPN e Globo Esporte deram destaque ao título do Dino também, reforçando a dimensão histórica do que o atleta acaba de conquistar. A vitória, que parecia um sonho, agora virou realidade, rapaziada, e o mundo inteiro está falando sobre o Dino. E para você entender o tamanho desse impacto, vamos deixar aqui o Nick falando sobre o Ramon, campeão do Olympia 2025.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power in the finals for the 2025 Mr. Olympia Classic Physique category just wrapped up. Brazilian fans, I want to see 1,000 million dinosaur emojis in the comment section. We have a new Classic Physique Mr. Olympia champion stepping into the throne, the heir to the throne of Chris Bumstead. None other than Ramon Dino. Ramon Dino in first, Mike Sommerfeld in second, Rough Diesel in third, Josema in fourth, and Niall Darwin in fifth. I gotta say here, at prejudging, I thought this was a really close competition, and I'm gonna be completely honest, at prejudging, I wasn't convinced that Ramon had it. But at finals, I'll be straight with you. I think Ramon absolutely slammed the door shut. When they were doing the announcements for who was going to win, this is when I knew that Ramon had it. Ramon and Mike standing next to each other. You can just look at the two. They're not posing. They're just standing there relaxed, waiting to see which name is going to be called. And when I saw them standing next to each other like this, I felt like it couldn't be more clear which one of them was going to be announced the winner. Ramon came into this finals so just perfectly peaked. His tan was perfect. His color was great. His condition was great. His detail was great. At prejudging, I felt like what he had going for him was he was clearly the biggest guy at prejudging. But here at the finals, I feel like he totally nailed it. I think he absolutely deserved this victory. And like I said, I was watching prejudging. I felt like it could go any direction. I really liked how Terrence looked at prejudging. I feel like he is a very good representative of what classic physique really is. I feel like he has a very classic physique. I thought Mike Sommerfeld looked really good despite the fact that he had to make that weight cut and cut down to under 204. And I thought prejudging was just everybody was great. Everybody... Like all three of them, you could have made the argument for them winning, but to be completely honest, watching the finals, I felt like at the finals it could not be more clear that Ramon was winning. I just felt like every single shot, every time they moved these guys around, every pose, I feel like this was Ramon at his all-time best at the finals. I feel like this was no question. And I feel like this was a long time coming. We've all seen the dinosaur emojis in our comment section. We've all seen the Brazilian fan base all over every bodybuilding post. And this time they get to celebrate. This time they were correct. And I think it's well-deserved. I think Ramon finally brought his all-time best physique. And, you know, I always think back to the Arnold Classic where Ramon did the Crank That Soldier Boy posing routine. And that was the day that I really became a huge fan of Ramon. I grew up with that song in high school. That was like a really big thing when I was younger. And I felt like that's the only bodybuilder I've ever seen pose to that song. And that's when I became a fan of Ramon, and watching him battle it out with Chris Bumstead was awesome. And I feel like now he's setting the new standard. And the era of Dino is now. I could not be happier, by the way. I could feel the energy when they announced Ramon as the winner. I could feel it, what the crowd was reacting there in person, and I could just feel there's millions of people right now that are through the roof excited about Ramon finally getting this Olympia title, and I just think it's fantastic, and I think it's well-deserved. And he beat two really good competitors. I mean, I think Terrence was at his all-time best here. I feel a little bit bad for Terrence in third because I think he's such a great representative of what Classic is all about with his posing. And I feel like Mike Sommerfeld, I also feel bad for him too because he faced so much adversity this whole week. Everybody talking about the height, the weight, just all this stuff, all this stress piled on top of Mike. He had to make that last-minute weight cut. And I really felt like he brought a really competitive package, really good condition. He didn't look that bad or that downsized for the fact that he lost all that weight. And I felt like that was something to be proud of, what Mike was able to bring. So Ramon winning this, he did not beat anybody that was off. It's not because Mike missed the weight, because I felt like Mike came in good. It was not because Terrence was off, because I feel like Terrence was at his all-time best. Ramon beat two guys that were 100% on, and I feel like this title could have gone to any of the three of them. But at finals, Ramon shut the door on both of them. That's the truth. I think this was the right call. I think it was the right guy, and I could just tell by Ramon's reaction that this is the future of Classic Physique. I'm very, very happy to see this, and it was well-deserved. Ramon came so much improved from last year. His posing was so much better. You could tell he really worked on it. And I just can't say enough how impressive it is. The package that I feel like he brought to this finals was just so good. I mean, honestly, at prejudging, I thought it could go any which way. But from the second that he walked out at finals, just every single detail of Ramon, like I said, the tan, the oil, the posing, the condition, the detail, the size.
Without any doubt, the greatest bodybuilding show on earth.
You don't want to miss this.
Best show in the world.
Well, I'm very excited.
Best Arnold weekend ever.
To your winner, Derek Lunsford.
Let's go.
Ramon nailed everything at the finals. And again, this was against two guys that were just absolutely at their peak. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this result. We have a new Classic Physique champion attempting to take over where Chris Bumstead left off. By the way, winning $100,000, which I think is massive. I think that's fantastic. I love to see it. $100,000 for Classic Physique, moving that needle up. And where do you guys think that we go from here? Not only what do you think of this decision, but where do we go from here? Is Ramon going to be the next guy to have a dynasty like Chris Bumstead? Or will we see what we saw in Men's Open Bodybuilding after Phil Heath left? Are we going to see that title change hands every year and have all kinds of different physiques win over the next several years? Or is Ramon the guy from here on out? And I also just want to say I met Ramon for the first time at last year's Arnold Classic, and I feel like he couldn't have been nicer. He was like, I know who you are. And I feel like of that entire year, I don't really get that excited to meet bodybuilders anymore because I've met just about everybody multiple times. But Ramon was one of the guys that I hadn't met yet, and I was really excited to meet him and take a picture with him, and I was super stoked about this. And I just could not be happier to see him finally get that title. And I watched the documentary about Ramon on YouTube. I'm sure you guys probably saw it, where it shows like the old Facebook posts of him like when he was a younger kid and just the journey that he's had since he started his bodybuilding career. And I'm just over the moon to see him win this. I'm very excited for him, and I wish him the best, and I hope that we see the beginning of the Dino era. So I hope that we have 1 million dinosaur emojis in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. Alright guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also check out my Instagram at NickStrengthPower. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.
E é isso aí, rapaziada, por hoje é só, esperamos que vocês tenham curtido o vídeo, já vai deixando aquele like, sempre ajuda muito na divulgação do vídeo, se inscreva no canal ativando o sininho e, é claro, deixem suas opiniões sobre o vídeo. Tamo junto, rapaziada, e até o próximo!